We talked about the cosmological argument, which was basically following cause, effect, all the way back to the initial cause, the initial watermelon or grapefruit, and what caused the universe to kind of like come into existence. And we as Christians would say the initial cause that kind of was involved in blowing the watermelon, the grapefruit apart, was God. And that God was involved in the creation of the universe. And so the first cause, what cause was the first cause to cause all the rest of this stuff to happen? We would say that's God, the first cause, the cosmological argument. We also used an argument, a teleological argument, and the teleological argument was an argument from design. The universe is very, very well structured, very well ordered, okay? One guy has written a book, these 6 numbers, if you change any of these 6 numbers, the whole universe changes. For example, the gravitational pull. What happens if the gravitational pull was different than what it is now? Suppose gravitation was just 3/4 of what it is now. What would have happened to the universe when it exploded? Instead of gravitation holding things together, the universe would do what? It would have gone out. What happens if gravitation, on the other hand, was stronger than it is now? The universe would go out, and is it possible that it would be sucked back together? But the way it is, the gravitational pull seems to be perfect in the way, and then it allows for us to live and things. And there's other factors too about the size and the weight of a proton. And what if that were changed and stuff? It would change everything. And so this guy goes through 6 numbers and says the universe is incredibly balanced around these 6 numbers. Well, now you could say that's luck, right? That we just lucked out. But doesn't it make, you say, that's just too many things to be luck. And so it's kind of like we use this example of this room with the chairs in this room. You walk into this room and you look at these chairs, would you assume that it was just luck and chance that these chairs popped in the way they are now? Now, when you look at the chairs, you say, what? Somebody did that. Somebody did that. Why do you know that those chairs were put there by somebody? Because there's too much order, okay? You've got 3 rows here, you've got no chairs sitting out in the middle, and you know what I'm saying? They kind of angle up, you got 10 in a row like that, they're all lined up nicely and things. You say, this couldn't just be by luck. There must have been a designer who designed this room and built this like this, okay? So that's what the argument from design, what's called a teleological argument. And then we talked a little bit about intelligent design. Now, different people will establish then, how did this happen? The intelligent design says that, how should I say, there's so much order in the universe that you need an intelligence. You need an intelligence to design this, because it's not just luck and chance. Otherwise, there'd be more chaos and things. Now, here's a next argument. This is the moral argument. Do critters have morals? We went out took my son out, just got back from Afghanistan. We drove out to Yellowstone National Park. Just before we got to Yellowstone, what's one of the problems with taking a walk in Yellowstone, just kind of strolling through Yellowstone? Are there big critters out there? And what happened is there was a 57-year-old man and his wife went for a walk, and turns out that there was a grizzly bear, mother grizzly bear, and the grizzly bear saw the man and went after him and killed him. What's the problem with the grizzly bear? Is a grizzly bear able to take a human being pretty easily? Okay, grizzly bear, the claws, just the claws on them as long as my finger. The grizzly bear goes like that once and you're gutted, okay? These animals are incredibly strong. They can run, really fast. And anyways, this guy was devoured, okay? His wife got away, by the way. Do you know how she got away? This is the honest truth. You say, well, she started hollering at the bear, and nobody can take a woman screaming at him, so the bear took off. That was a joke. It was a joke, okay? Okay. I got to be careful about these kind of things now that's being taped. But what I'm saying is, well, how did the woman get away? Do you know what she did? This is the honest truth. What she did was, her husband was devoured by the bear. She pretended that she was dead. She pretended that she was dead. The bear came up, nosed her and stuff, may have clamped into her. I think she had some minor wounds, but the bear did not devour her because the bear figured she was dead and left her alone. That's the honest truth. She got away by playing dead. That's pretty freaky, isn't it? But she totally went limp and pretended like she was dead. She got spared. My point is, an animal devours a human being. Is that an immoral animal? Do animals have morals? No, they eat each other. Human beings have morals. Where did those morals come from? Where did the morals come from? If you don't believe that there's a God, if you don't believe that there's no God, then where did morals come from? Now, by the way, can secular people come up with places that morals come from? Yes, they can, but do they have to work a lot harder than we do, saying there is a God who spoke, who said, thou shalt not what? Commit murder. Thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not commit adultery. That's pretty straight up, okay? So where did morals come from? That's more of a problem than with God. It's not much a problem. Without God, that it is. Pascal's wager. This is one I like. Does anybody like gambling and stuff? I don't. But let me just say this. If there is no God, what have I lost? If there is no God, what have I lost? Very little. Very little. Suppose there is no God, and you say, well, you believed all your life and it was a lie, God doesn't exist and stuff. What have I gained from that? I've gained a wonderful family, a wonderful wife and stuff like that. I couldn't ask for more, okay? So I've got all this stuff still. If, on the other hand, I believe there is no God, and I said there is no God, and all of a sudden I die, and I end up face to face with this God who doesn't exist and stuff, and I blasphemed him all my life and stuff, question, and you get fried after that, question, is there a problem? In other words, you got everything to lose, and what? Do you see what I'm saying? You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Does that make sense to you? In other words, if there is no God, and I believe there was a God, I didn't lose almost anything. I didn't lose almost anything. If it turns out there is a God and I didn't believe in him, man, I lose everything after this thing goes down. And so I'm going to lose everything, okay? Does that make sense? That's called Pascal's wager. And he's saying, if you believe in God and it turns out that you were wrong, you didn't lose very much of anything. If you believe that there was no God and it turns out there is, you've just lost your soul, big, big stuff.